Welcome back, guys, to Unholy Health. This is episode 19, and we are talking about vitamins.
Yeah, I'm impressed we've made it to episode 19, or not impressed, either way.
To be fair, I tried doing a podcast, and I'm doing worse.
Right.
It is really hard.
Yeah, how many episodes in are you?
5.
Okay, yep.
So I'm well behind.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not that easy, and that's by myself.
Yeah, it's hard to... I mean, it's always hard to schedule these things, right?
I don't know. I've never tried before this. My first attempt.
Yeah, we have had... I have had a bunch of emails. I think I've sent you some of people wanting to be guests on the show. It's really unusual people who are reaching out to say they want to be guests on the show. That doesn't make any sense to me why they'd want to be. But we might get some guest people sooner or later.
It'll hold us more accountable.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, we're talking about vitamins. This for me, this was prompted by some recent stories. There was a news article in the ABC recently and a few other places, and it was around vitamin B6.
Okay, so first thing,
Yep.
What is vitamin B6? Because I did not know anything about vitamin B6 until joining FLCK.
Yep.
And I used to buy energy drinks and they all advertise vitamin B6. I'm vegan, so I've always been told I need more B12. So I'm like, oh, this is healthy for me. It's more B vitamins. Like, I thought they were like a healthy, like a selling point.
Yeah. Why don't we start with just like, what is a vitamin?
This is like the meaning of life. Get deeper and deeper.
So it's some organic compound, and it's one that your body needs to function.
Yeah, okay.
That's basically all it is, and it gets classed as a vitamin when it's demonstrated it's something that you have to have.
Okay. I mean, I am low in iron, so I know what happens when I don't have my iron. And when I lived in Melbourne and I never saw the sun for 6 months in winter, I didn't have vitamin D. That was miserable. So that's as much as I know about vitamins.
But remember, iron is not a vitamin.
What?
No.
So what's iron?
Well, iron's a metal.
Oh, see, so I don't actually know what is. I thought that was one of my little pills that I take is iron.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I decided that was, but it's not a vitamin.
But it's a mineral. So vitamins have to be organic compounds. Yeah, so just look up a vitamin C molecule and you'll see what I mean.
Let's have a look. You thought this was going to make any more sense to me.
Right, so...
What am I looking at?
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be interesting to some people. If you do chemistry, let's say chemistry in high school, there's something called the periodic table.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so in the periodic table, there's lots of different things in there, and they're all elements. All right, so hydrogen is one, helium is one, iron is on the periodic table.
Right. This is just taking me back to high school.
Yeah. Yeah, and so iron, which is, where is it on the periodic table? It's, so you've got things on this side, things on this side, things on the, if you're looking at whichever way, if you look at things on the right-hand side, they're generally gases. All these things in the middle, there's a lot of metals there, and iron is one of them. You've got other things like magnesium is a metal, copper is a metal, gold is a metal. So these are all things, and like calcium. So yeah, your body needs calcium for your bones, and your body can't make calcium because, it's a metal. Your body can't make metals. Someone might correct me on that, but I think I'm pretty confident your body can't make metals. But so those are minerals. Generally, you call it a mineral, or a mineral could be a combination of different metals. Let's just say you've got all these like metals that your body needs. There may be some other things. Obviously, your body needs water. Water is a molecule, but
I know this one, H2O.
H2O. So water molecule is, so you got two, like hydrogen is an element and oxygen is an element, and they'll bond together. And so you've got two hydrogen atoms and an oxygen atom, and you make water out of that when you have lots of those molecules. Generally, like organic molecules, one of the things like human beings and like every organism on Earth is carbon based. So we're primarily like all the molecules we do things with, well, not all of them, like water, of course, but well, they usually have carbon in them. And so I don't think all of the vitamins have, maybe they all do. Yeah, they're all organic. So organic molecules are carbon-based things. And when we say vitamin C, that little picture you see there of vitamin C, that's 6 carbon atoms, 8 hydrogen atoms, and 6 oxygen atoms in that little structure you see. And when you get lots of that, then that's basically vitamin. So that's a molecule. That combination of elements in that configuration is a molecule. It's an organic molecule, and we call that particular one vitamin C. And your body can make some organic things because you eat food, and you can break it down. You can do different things to it, but all of the vitamins are these particular molecules that your body can't make and that you have to get from your diet somehow.
Okay, that was so much.
And so how many vitamins are there? How many vitamins do you think there are, or known vitamins?
33.
33?
That just came to my head.
Yeah, so the essential ones, as far as I know, like I think at times I think there was a point maybe in the 90s where people were trying to claim that Q10 might have been essential. And then you have other things like, you hear about things like NMN and resveratrol and all of these. These aren't essential vitamins. Now, to be an essential vitamin, it has to be known that you can't live without it.
Okay, so it has to actually, if you don't have it, you will die. Not just you'll be a little bit dizzy, you will die.
I'm pretty sure you die if you have a complete deficiency in all of these, yeah. So what are the vitamins we have? We have vitamin A, and then there's all the B vitamins, so B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, B9, B12.
Oh yeah, I'm way off 33. I can already tell because I forgot there's B and there's 12 of those.
Yeah, but there's not that many more. So you've got C, you've got D, you've got E, and you've got K.
Oh, okay. So we don't go through the entire alphabet.
No, there's no like vitamin Z, I don't think. And then the B ones have different names generally. So vitamin C also has another name, which is ascorbic acid.
Do you know this stuff off the top of your head?
No.
Okay.
I definitely know vitamin C as ascorbic acid off the top of my head because ascorbic acid is, apart from being vitamin C being a vitamin, it's very good to prevent, someone in some chemistry major is going to correct me on this somewhere, but it basically prevent oxidation. So if you get something like, if you get a fruit that normally when you cut it, it goes discolored, you get some vitamin C from citrus fruit, potentially. There's plenty of vitamin C in citrus fruits. If you put that on there first, it won't go brown as quickly.
Oh, that's actually a good thing to know.
Yeah.
The amount of apples I've wasted that I've had half an apple and it's gone brown. I don't want the rest of it.
Yeah. So you can put vitamin C will help with that. And so we actually put quite a bit of vitamin C in all of our drinks. And that's not because we're trying to prevent scurvy, but just because it's effective to prevent spoilage of ingredients, like preventing funky tasting things, all that kind of stuff. So ascorbic acid is really good for that. Plus it has a taste.
Makes sense.
So that's vitamin C. And then the B vitamins, so you probably hear some of the other names, like B1 is thiamine, B2 sometimes known as riboflavin, B3 niacin. Vitamin B5, if you've ever used Pantene shampoo.
Oh, yeah.
So pantothenic acid is vitamin B5. So basically Pantene is shampoo with vitamin B5 in it.
Yeah, right.
B6 is pyridoxine, B7 biotin, B9.
I've heard of that one. I don't know. B7 we give the horses for their hooves.
Yeah. B9 folate, which is interesting in terms
That's
of
hair and stuff, isn't it? No, it's follicle. This is me trying to guess like I have any idea what's going on. I'm just learning this episode.
So B9, which you have to be wary of having too much folate if you're trying to conceive, like if you're trying to get pregnant. because I think it's excess. Let me double check this. Excess folate. I think is this spina bifida. Right. Sorry. Insufficient folate. So if you're not getting enough folate, then yeah, you can have increased risk of neural tube defects such as spina bifida. And one of the most famous ones with vitamins that people probably know is that sailors, when they used to go out to sea back in, I don't know, a very long time ago, they would get sick and their gums would start bleeding and they wouldn't heal their wounds very quickly. So you get a cut and it wouldn't heal properly. But even worse, if they spent long enough at sea, anything that had previously healed, including like a broken bone, the heel would go bad. So your broken bone, it would be rebroken essentially.
Oh no, that's insane.
And your cuts would reopen because all your scar tissue would break down. So you need vitamin C for that. And if you don't have it, awful. You get something called scurvy.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Vitamin D.
That's the sun, isn't it?
Yeah. So you get your body can synthesize vitamin D from the sun.
Yeah, that's as much as I know about that. That if you go out in the sun, you get vitamin D, you feel happy.
Yeah. And if you don't get any vitamin D, you get something called scurvy. Oh, sorry. That was what I wanted to say. You get rickets.
Rickets.
Yeah, rickets. So
who named these things? Scurvy and rickets, and it's horrible.
I believe scurvy and rickets are very old English names for diseases. These diseases potentially.
It does sound very medieval.
If you start talking about some of the other ones, like if you don't have enough thiamine, get something called beriberi, and then the rest of them, like vitamin B3 are niacin deficiencies, pellagra. Not enough biotin, you can start losing your hair, you get rashes, you get neurological symptoms, all kinds of things like this. And that's why when we discovered that people on boats, the way they could solve this problem was just by giving them citrus fruits.
Yeah, so they get the vitamin.
And so this is like early times supplementing.
Yeah, right. The natural way. There are plenty of people that say we shouldn't be taking pills and we should be doing it the old school way of having things that have everything in it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, that there are conditions and or diets and or certain things where you can become deficient in something. If you're a vegan, a lot of vegans have some concern about ensuring they get enough B12.
Yeah, we can't get it, full stop.
Yeah.
I've always been told because I'm vegan, I have to take B12. There is no, I think it comes from the soil or something that the cows eat or something. So because we're not eating the cow, we don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it comes from bacteria.
Oh, well, there you go.
But you can, I mean, Vegemite.
Is it B12 and Vegemite?
Yep.
I eat Vegemite by the tablespoon. So I've been supplementing for no reason.
I mean, one. I don't think. Check the label. They add it to one. I think it's the reduced salt one, but you can get it from, and there's other ways you can get it. But yeah, and it's mostly that the bacteria that will give it to you is not in the soil anymore.
Right. So that means some people, even that do eat the cows, might still have to be supplementing B12.
I'm pretty sure that it's in the because if the cows didn't have B12, they'd also be sick, I believe. So they might be getting supplemented with it themselves. But yeah, so B12 is one where usually if you're a vegan, you just have to be careful. If you're eating an animal and the animal wasn't sick and dying, then it's going to have most of these somewhere. So yeah, animal foods tends to be high in most of these things. But of course you don't, plenty of plants and vegetables are also high in these things as well. So I'm not telling anyone they have to have a meat-based diet by any stretch.
Do your blood tests.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing, I think, that people if you're living in not a third world country and you're eating a reasonable diet, even if you're not eating a super reasonable diet, so many foods that you buy, like even white bread, will have stuff in it added. So lots of things are fortified. There's your tap water doesn't have any vitamins in it, but of course your tap water has fluoride in it, which is good for your teeth. Not mind control. If anyone believes that tap water is from mind control, I don't know, go back to primary school. But
I have not heard that conspiracy.
Yes. So yeah, and lots of like breads. Even one of the most interesting ones, this is not a vitamin, but everywhere in the world, you know when you buy salt?
Like just normal table salt,
Yeah.
or like pink Himalayan salt. Just salt.
Just table salt. And what does, you know, if you read table salt, do you know what it's called, what it says on it?
No, never read it.
So usually it'll say it's iodized.
Oh, actually, I do know it says that.
Yeah. So iodine's not a vitamin. It's a halogen. So it's on this side of the periodic table. So, but you do need iodine for your thyroid. Anyway, in a lot of places, for whatever reason, iodine deficiency worldwide was a problem. Affects 2 billion people, and it's the leading preventable cause of intellectual and developmental disabilities is an iodine deficiency. And that's why salt everywhere has iodine added to it.
So that we get the iodine.
So that people get the iodine, yeah.
I need to start adding salt to my food. I don't salt anything. Now I'm going to.
But you can, like you said, you can do blood tests for all these things. And it's pretty unlikely if you're living in a reasonably affluent, you know, if you're living a comfortable-ish life, you're probably not deficient in anything.
I wonder how many people that take those huge amounts of supplements every morning are taking things they don't actually need and they're just peeing out.
It's expensive urine. Yeah.
Because they say like there are people that have massive lineups. And I'm just thinking about now, I'm vegan, I'm a picky eater, I don't have salt, I don't like dressings, I don't like sauces. And when I did my last bloods, I was just low on iron.
Yeah.
So the amount of people that are eating meat and probably a more diverse diet than me and taking these massive amount of supplements to be healthy, they probably actually don't need to at all.
Yeah, definitely true. You know, people have to make their own choices. Maybe it makes them feel good. I'm sure I said this before. I took a multivitamin every day from about the age of 16 to about my late 30s.
And have you felt no different coming off it, or?
I don't even know when I came off it. I think I just eventually forgot.
Yeah, that's crazy. So there was no like, oh, I feel terrible, I've come off my multivitamin. You're like, actually, I don't even realize.
No, if I go back on them, I usually get a pain in the guts, which I think is from like really, really high dose B vitamins can upset stomachs.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I haven't really noticed a difference. But so anyway, going back to vitamins then, we made the choice when we started formulating FLCK that, and you can find there's an article on our website somewhere that whilst every energy drink adds B vitamins, we made the choice that you have enough vitamins somewhere. And if you don't have enough vitamins and you're supplementing with them, you should be understanding what you don't have enough of and supplementing accordingly. So we decided not to put vitamins into FLCK for like fortification purposes. So, you know, you buy salt and it's iodized, and that's part of a like World Health Organization encourages that sort of thing. Similar like adding fluoride to water. Bread gets fortified with different things for different purposes, but an energy drink we felt didn't need to try and give you your daily dose of B vitamins.
So to be clear, there is no B6 in FLCK.
There's no B6, there's no B, there's no A. There is C.
Nothing.
There is C.
Except C.
But we don't put vitamin C in FLCK to prevent scurvy. Like that's not why it's in there. It's an acid, so it's the taste, but also it's antioxidant, so we use it for those purposes. Everything we put in there is per drink that we formulate, we select the thing we can to best have the effect for that particular drink. And we're very careful about what we put in, and we take things out. So a good example of this is Total Focus originally had ashwagandha in it, and it was really hard to work with because that stuff tastes like absolute horrid. It's disgusting.
Is that what gave it the old weird aftertaste? That everyone was like, oh, that's a bit funny. the ashwagandha?
It was a combination of that and the fact that we tried to balance all the flavors in it to mask the ashwagandha. So we had all these really strong flavors to hide it. And then once we took it out, as anyone who's had the most recent version of Total Focus, it's more like a mandarin because we took out all the sage flavoring. We dropped back the coffee and the cinnamon. So we subdued the flavor a bit because we didn't have that ashwagandha in there making everything else taste awful. So, but the ashwagandha was ruled. So there's two food products in Australia, organization called Fazance. They determine what can be in things. And so, we want to try and give people the latest things, which means that sometimes we might use an ingredient and then later Fazance rules that it's been determined that ingredient is not safe. And so then we'll take it out. We always adapt. So yeah, we took out ashwagandha. So what I say is that it's not entirely impossible that we would make a product and put some B vitamins in it, but it would be targeted at what's the effect we're trying to get in that product and how does it work? I hate to use this word, but how does it work synergistically with the other ingredients in that product to give the effects that we want? So, this is why in all of our caffeine products we add the phosphatidylserine because we're using that to help balance the less positive. One of the purposes is to balance the less positive effects of caffeine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so most of the things that we use, like I said, we don't just dump vitamins in because you probably don't need them and they're probably not going to give you much of an effect. Like yes, anyone who's ever gone and gotten a B vitamin injection, you feel pretty good for a little while afterwards. So, there is something to that, but everything we use is to have a particular effect targeted for that ingredient. So our workout products have creatine in them, and creatine has pretty good evidence that it works to improve muscle strength and muscle volume, things like that.
Creatine is so popular at the moment. Everyone is taking creatine, which it used to be something that people were scared of because they used to say it would make you look bloated and fat.
Yeah.
For ages, creatine was like only the big like gorilla guys would take it. Now it's like everyone takes creatine. There was such a fear around that for so long.
Yeah. Now there's a new study about creatine that comes out every week, it seems. And, now they'll say like, if you take 5 grams, it's really good for your brain. You'll be smarter. But I wouldn't, you have to be skeptical of every study that comes out. But yeah, we do use creatine because it's proven. Creatine is not a vitamin. No. Then you've got these things called amino acids, which we'll talk about that some other time. But so you've got minerals. We don't put any minerals in anything. Most of what else we put in so we do use amino acids. So we'll use creatine currently, and this may change, but currently we're using citrulline malate in Mango Mana and Mango Max. That is, so L-citrulline's an amino acid. Citrulline malate is just that amino acid and malic acid. The other stuff in our products are usually plant extracts, like the mango leaf that we use in Mango Mana and Mango Max is basically they take a specific type of mango plant and they extract stuff from the leaves. And that will contain certain organic compounds. One of those compounds, and like the one that's studied the most, called magniferin magniferin, I believe is the correct pronunciation. And so that compound is an organic compound, but it's not a vitamin. So it's not determined that organic compound is necessary for your body to function in any way.
So why do most energy drink companies put B6 in? Is it to be healthy or sound healthy?
It is because, like I said, if you go and get a B vitamin injection, it does have effects.
Okay, so it's not just to say poison is actually good for you. It does give you even a slight health benefit potentially.
Well, not necessarily a health benefit. It will make you feel a certain way. And like if same thing, like nobody is deficient in caffeine. Caffeine's but if you have some caffeine, you'll feel better. The challenge is how long will you feel better for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until that caffeine crash.
And that's why, specifically for us, phosphatidylserine, which we use, which is very difficult for us to use, but we use it because the protective effects on the brain. It's just a lipid. So it's really protective in the brain. Your brain uses it, and it will help balance out some of the shitty feeling you get from caffeine, like in the long term. So that's why we try to make products that you feel good, you don't just get an instant hit, but it will make you perform better and you feel better for hours instead of just for the 5 minutes that you have it.
I was going to say FLCK feels like when I have matcha. Coffee I have first thing in the morning and I get that instant like I'm awake, and then I feel crap an hour later.
Yeah.
So I try to replace it with matcha, and matcha I have it and I feel no different, and I'm like, this sucks. I should have had a coffee. And then when it hits, I have energy all day. I don't crave another matcha. I don't crave another coffee. I don't crave another energy drink, and I don't get that crash. And FLCK's the same.
Yeah.
When I have a FLCK, I'm like, it has to wait a bit for the effect to kick in. I don't get that like smashed in your face caffeine effect.
Yeah.
But then I don't crave another one. If I used to have a normal energy drink, I could have 2 a day because I'd have one and then I just crave another.
Yeah. So, we talked about organic compounds. The vitamins are the ones that your body needs. And if you don't have them, you have a deficiency and you get sick and die. But you can also have too much of all these vitamins. Obviously, you can have too much of anything. You can have too much caffeine. I think if you had probably like a whole jar of instant coffee, it's likely to be enough to kill you. But all of these vitamins, even though you need them, you can get too much. And too much is a variable thing. So we say like vitamin C, let's have a guess. How much vitamin C do you think you'd need to overdose?
60 grams.
So the upper safe limit per day is 2 grams.
Oh.
So that's a lot of vitamin C.
So obviously vitamin C isn't like those big tablets you get that you swallow, because that one of those is more than 2 grams.
Yeah, but the whole tablet wouldn't be vitamin C.
Yeah, okay. So there's like fillers in it, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, how many of those tablets would you have?
Then you have this question of you can be getting too much, but there's like how well can your body excrete it? So vitamin C being water soluble, usually your body will just flush it out pretty easily.
Well, that's when you hear about all these people taking all these supplements and just peeing them all out, I guess.
Yeah. Some of them, like B12, there's no known upper limit. I'm sure if you ate a kilo of vitamin B12, it probably wouldn't be great for you, but there's no amount where they say this is going to be unsafe.
No one has actually died from B12 yet.
Yeah.
There's no guinea pig to let us know.
Yeah. But the most important one, and sort of kind of the reason we started talking about vitamins, is that you can have too much vitamin B6.
How much?
Yeah, how much vitamin? Well, let's have a guess. How much vitamin B6 is too much?
Okay, so I'm not going to go anywhere near my last guess. I'm going to go 5 grams.
100 milligrams per day.
Oh wait, milligrams.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not much at all.
And the symptoms can be quite bad. So acute toxicity doesn't really happen, but people have problems like nerve pain, numbness, trouble walking, all kinds of things like that, even at 200 milligrams or more a day of vitamin B6.
Wow. So how much would be in a standard energy drink?
So let's not name any of these competitors, but in a can, and it depends how big the can is, but you could have 10 milligrams in a can. See if I can find the highest B6 concentration in an energy drink. Yeah, so they're probably only, talking 5, 10 milligrams usually.
Okay, so you'd have to drink a lot to end up getting seriously sick from the B6 in them.
Yes, it would be hard, but you can imagine there's B6 in a lot of things. And you're taking a B6 vitamin in the morning. It's these cumulative effects that you're taking a multivitamin and then you're having some other fortified foods and then you're having a few energy drinks and you just don't need all that B6. And when you add it up throughout the day, you could well be getting into ranges where you're going to start having problems.
Yeah, I think that's where we all get lost. We don't consider that there's things in other things. Like, I know I'm like that. I'm always like, whenever I think about, even vitamin D, I forget you can get it places other than the sun.
Yeah. Anyway, that's why, why don't we put vitamins in any of the current FLCK products? Because we're not after the effect of that vitamin, and we're not making FLCK as anything to try and supplement anyone's diet. We're trying to produce like particular functional effects for a particular purpose. So total focus, help you focus as much as possible, really. Like that's why it's called total focus. And that's why we put caffeine in there, because it's proven to work for that. And we put the sage extract that we do in there. We put the wild oat extract that we do in there, because those have studies that show that they increase performance on cognitive tasks. And the same with mango mana. We put the mango leaf extract in for the same reason. We put creatine in, because it is proven for certain things. So all of our products is like that. We're not trying to supplement diets. And I think it's just worth noting that supplementing a population that is not deficient is a dangerous game. And there have been a lot of stories in the news lately that we talked about that people really are overdosing on B6. Now, that's unlikely to be caused by their monster mother Red Bull, unless they're drinking 20 a day. But if they're taking a multivitamin and then that's like at the top end of the RDI range, and then they're also drinking energy drinks and they're also getting it somewhere else, then the cumulative effect could well be someone overdosing. Or it's not really like overdosing would be acute, but if you're having too much over a long period of time, you'll start getting these sort of nerve damage symptoms. And so when you add all of those up, could be causing those problems. And so, it's somewhat, I would say, somewhat irresponsible to be putting B6 into a drink when you know that people are getting it from other sources.
And when there's such a lack of education. Like, I knew none of this before this episode. And I'm someone that I can probably rationalize that you can overdose on a vitamin, but I wouldn't think about it. Like you said, I wouldn't consider how much of this vitamin have I had before having my energy drink that has it as well.
Yeah.
And was it in my morning multivitamin? I would just think, well, the more I have, the healthier I'll be, right?
There's probably something out there, which is there's no limit to the more you have, the better it is. But I'd say most things, you can die from drinking too much water.
I know. I nearly did it. Well, no, I didn't really do it. But I went to the doctor and I was having all of these like weird symptoms.
Yeah.
And I was drinking 6 liters of water a day.
Yeah.
Because I was drinking so much water that my body couldn't recognize when it wasn't thirsty. So I was just constantly thirsty.
Yeah.
And I had all these, like, my arms were numb, and she's like, you will drown yourself. Like, you need to wean your body off that much water.
Yeah. Yeah. You had basically, because you're messing all your electrolyte balances up, right? Because
I was well, that's why now I have a daily electrolyte.
Yeah.
So that I don't have that feeling of constant thirst. But never knew you couldn't have too much water, because all people say is get one of those big Stanley cups like I have and fill it up as many times as you can.
Yeah.
That's 2 liters. So if I had 3 of those.
Yeah. And of course they tell you not to drink distilled water too.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Which distilled water, if you find it in the supermarket and it will say not for human consumption, right? Like it's pure water. There's no dissolved minerals in it. I don't know why a lot of people around have this perception or belief, but like if you drink any distilled water, it'd be really harmful for you, which is not true at all. You can drink distilled water fine. You couldn't only drink distilled water and not eat any food, because you would die because you're not getting any electrolytes. But the main reason they tell you not to drink the distilled water that you buy for your iron is actually because it's not made in a food safe facility. And so even though it's been distilled, there's no guarantee that when they've packaged it, bacteria or whatever organisms. As you know, with tap water, we have to add, not only is there fluorine in it, but we chlorinate the tap water that goes down the pipe. And that's because all kinds of nasty stuff likes to go in tap water or in water. And so we chlorinate it. When you bottle water, you have to be very careful about the environment because people can get sick. And I think I mentioned this the other week with, us making a coffee, that coffee is not acidic. And so things like to grow in there, whereas Total Focus, all our other drinks, Coke, things like that, they're quite acidic, and ascorbic acid is one of those acids. But you've also got like malic acid, citric acid. And when you have a lot of acids and a low pH, most bacteria won't grow. And so it's safer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's why we don't include vitamins in our drinks, and why people just need to be careful about where they're getting their vitamins from. And if you're taking a multi, it's up to you. It might make you feel good, but you need to be careful about cumulative sources of all of the vitamins. Not all of them, but a lot of them, because a lot of them, if you get too much, it's actually going to cause you health problems.
Yeah, probably needs to be more knowledge and education about what we're actually taking and what we're eating.
Yeah. Awesome. Until next time.